So, I like you. It's very cute. Okay. So, endometriosis. Kelly's 33 years old. She has endometriosis. Endometriosis was confirmed April of this year under laparoscopic procedure. Excision of endometriosis and related scar tissue was removed. Stage 4 active endometriosis was located on the back of bladder, uterus, fallopian tubes, and gut. Adhesions that anchored to the left ovary to bowel removed. Adhesions from right fallopian tube to the right side of the uterus removed. This sounds just like a report from a radiologist or something. It's great. Scar tissue removed from bowel, sacrum area, and pouch of Douglas. Okay, wherever Douglas has a pouch, I don't know. Is it here or is it in
no,
above?
it's the sort of the where the uterus sits, like around the sides, in the abdominal cavity. I think they refer to that as the pouch of Douglas.
It sounds beautiful. It sounds like you're going over to Antarctica or something.
Pardon?
Douglas, it would have sounded a bit better if he had a girl's name.
Yeah, but Douglas was probably the dude who discovered it.
At least he's not Donald.
Be nice. We're trying very hard, we're not doing a good job. Age 2 sprained ankles, age 3 chickenpox, age 5 mumps, age 9 hepatitis A. Were you traveling somewhere?
No, I caught it in England.
Okay. That is, you know, which fish and chips shop did you go to?
I was in London, I think.
Well, you could still, you know, people do weird things in London too. They don't always wash their hands either. So it's like, okay. Age 14, painful periods. Well, she has endometriosis, so that makes sense. 15, right knee injury. Okay. 16, pulled right shoulder. Okay, lots of things on the right. Right knee injury again at age 17. Tendinitis, I think, is what it's supposed to be. Okay. Soft tissue damage to nose in a car accident at age 19. Age 20, right ankle sprain. You live dangerously. Age 20, depression with no treatment ongoing until 30. At age 21, overdose of painkillers. What were the painkillers prescribed for?
They were over the counter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry.
Read the continuation.
No treatment, but self-harm till 28. No, I already, I haven't said it, I was just wondering what. Okay, so you basically, it was a way of dealing with the depression?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. All right, age 25, she had a kidney infection, out of hours treatment. I'm assuming that means emergency room?
Yeah, I wasn't hospitalized, but I was, I had to go to the out of hours.
Okay.
Hospital.
And antibiotics for 10 days. I don't know what, age 27, norovirus, 2 weeks to feel well again.
It's like a really bad vomiting virus.
Oh, okay. Age 30, painful periods, started to seek diagnosis, which is endometriosis. Wait a second. Age 14, you had painful periods. Wait, you took the pills somewhere, did you? Okay. Between 14 and 30, your periods were fine?
No, they were still painful.
Okay, so so at age 30 is when you looked for a diagnosis. It was painful your whole life.
Yeah, it was painful my whole life, but then at 30, whereas the birth control pill was kind of keeping everything to a point that I could cope with, it was starting to sort of wander out of the realms that I could physically cope with, and at that point it was like, something is wrong, please fix me.
So, you took birth control from age 14 to 30, and then no birth control now for 3 years.
Yeah.
Got you. Okay. In a family, there's no endometriosis in the family, in the mother's family, which often there is. Endometriosis is often genetic, but in her case, doesn't seem to be. But what she does have, there's diabetes. Grandfather and grandmother and father, all three of them, all that side, has diabetes. She has, all three of them have had either high blood pressure or heart attacks or some heart condition. So Papa generously offered diabetes and cardiac possibilities. Okay. On Mama's side, there is a thyroid issue on the grandmother, but not her mother. there is high blood
That's
pressure.
debatable, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, my guy's still trying to dodge a diagnosis on that, so.
Okay. And there's a mitral valve replacement for grandpas. So basically, complications from long-term warfarin. Warfarin is Coumadin. Is that the same thing?
Blood thinner.
Blood thinner, yeah, used. Okay, so he had the mitral valve replacement, and then they said you should dilute the blood.
Yeah, he
Or
had
was he taking it for something
he had
else?
the mitral valve replacement sort of when he was in his 40s.
And therefore he was in blood
and
thinners.
he was 96 when he died.
Wow.
So it was that cumulative long-term anticoagulant use and
Yeah, yeah.
combined with a fall that
Yeah.
actually...
Yeah. But 96, I mean, it's hard to blame, I mean, not...
Oh yeah, don't get me wrong, he seriously had good innings.
Yeah, okay, got you. All right, and the depression okay, and peripheral vision issues in mother's sight. Okay. Okay, so, anybody endometriosis, liver 5. No question, no nothing. Lie down there. I mean, if I want to be one of those people who sees, 75 people a day, you hope that endometriosis, you can fill your whole day endometriosis just through liver 5 moxa, and everybody will be happy, at least to some extent. And but she has more than just, there's more things for her. But the first thing I'm going to look for, obviously, is liver 5. The next thing I look for is cardiac, because she's got whole father. She has six, not mother, father, and 4 grandparents. That's 6 people. Those 3 all have cardiac, and this guy, the 40 that lived to 96. So 4 out of 6, but that means 2 sides, 2 branches, give her cardiac possibilities. I need to check that out. I can't possibly ignore that. And the other thing is I need to check the thyroid. Because she's had depression could be related to thyroid, even though I'm sure she would have said, well, they've tested me and, blah, blah, blah.
They have tested me and they told me to go away.
But you did have a car crash, did you say? Did you have some...
Yeah,
It was at uni, we were hit head on in a minibus by hit and run drivers.
When were you developed depression after then?
No, I had low feelings for a long time. It was just the second year of university and the sort of pressure of university. Brought it all out in a giant self-destructive flood.
But she also, by the way, Mama suffers from depression too.
Okay.
So,
So okay, when you tested for thyroid and it was like towards the low end, but they don't...
Yeah, in American terms, I would have been treated for hypothyroidism, but...
hyper or hypo?
Hypo.
Hypo, okay.
But because the English numbers are different, I am sort of bottom end of the range English. So they kind of went, no, off you go, you're
When
fine.
were you tested?
When was I tested? I was tested last year.
Could change.
Yeah, no, and you should continue to, but well, the thing is, because also hard for you to lose weight,
Yeah.
so one of the things is it could be sluggish thyroid. I mean, she has a bunch of things that, first of all, she has the genetic disposition, okay? And so it's something I want to check for myself. I mean, besides blood, I mean, I can't argue with blood tests, and I don't, and the numbers change constantly. Every 10 years they say something
but in
else.
America and other countries, China, what you were saying is that the TSH, which is the main sort of hormone that they're testing, if it's above 2.5, you're already sort of
Hold on. You can't just take the TSH. You have to compare the
No.
TSH with the T4.
No, I do realize, but here there are loads of people that they are, crawling with, depression and so on, with obvious symptoms, but because
Right,
they don't
won't
want to
indicate
test. In many cases, they're refusing to test T4, so they only take the TSH.
Oh, that's weird because
Yeah, but
usually
you're
often it's
comparing
the other
a
way
private
around
system
in the
of
States.
care, usually in the States, with the NHS. That
That's really odd because in the States it's a lot easier to throw in a T3, T4 blood test, but to throw the TSH, they don't do that so easily. So it's kind of interesting that every country, it must be some lab here that controls, it's cheaper for us to do this test, but not this test or
Yeah,
something
you could do it
else.
privately over here as well, and it's
Yeah.
not that expensive, but it's just how they are prepared to
Yeah.
look at the whole
Yeah.
thyroid anyway.
Okay, got you. You're not missing much, quite honestly, because, you know, if you go on, say, Synthroid or Levothyroid or something, it's not like, you know, especially someone who's possibly sensitive because you've already played with medications, it's sometimes hard to find the right dosage. So, you know, as long as you're not crawling, right? like you talked about the people crawling.
No, I'm fine.
All right. Now that they've scraped off this endometrial tissue, which was done in April, right? You've had periods since then,
Yes.
I presume? And how are they at this point?
Still painful, but
Okay.
way less.
Okay.
It's I get quite a lot of exhaustion when my period
Yes,
does
yes.
come, and I would really like to take to my bed for 2 days, but that's not possible.
All right. Okay. Let's. And you still have pain on ovulation?
Yes, pain on ovulations in the evening.
Okay. And how about the pain in the right sacrum?
It nags about when it wants to. Sometimes.
Nothing related to periods.
No, that's just,
On its
it's
own.
been nagging
Okay.
since.
Fair enough. All right. And just to make sure.
And there's diabetes in the family as well.
Sorry.
Diabetes in the family.
Yeah, Papa, all of Papa's family, all three, diabetes and cardiac. All right, let's have you lie down, face up.
Is that type 2?
Sorry,
Is that type 2 or
the
1?
diabetes is type 2 or type 1?
Type 2.
Yeah. All right. So, done. All right. And you've had your glucose levels checked? Insulin
Yeah, I was
resistance
fine.
or whatever?
Yeah.
All right. You always have rapid pulse? Do you sleep okay?
No.
Okay. What happens?
I struggle to fall asleep and then I wake very, very early.
Aha. All right. Do you get startled easily?
Yeah.
Just sweaty hands. That's why I started asking about other kind of easy autonomic nervous system indicators. You know, she doesn't sleep well, she gets startled easily. Do you know what your blood pressure is?
High, but not so high that I'd be considered hypertensive.
Okay. All right. Are these stretch marks?
Yes.
Okay. So you used to be bigger and you shrank? Or?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so cold abdomen with that on the skin, definitely cold. Okay. It's okay, you don't have to. I will find one. Okay, and but quite hot head and sweating. Okay, so the chest isn't hot. The chest is, it's, I could say maybe on a cool side. The abdomen's definitely cold. Okay, so when I poke here, you just feel my fingers? Okay. When I poke somewhere else, if it doesn't feel like that,
Okay.
let me know. It doesn't have to be pain, just has to be different.
Okay.
Okay? So, anything here?
No.
Here? A little
A
bit?
little bit.
Okay. So right stomach 26, 27. How about 4 o'clock?
That's fine.
8 o'clock?
That's fine.
9 o'clock? I mean, red 9?
That's fine.
Okay. 12.
Mm.
Yes, right, 12. Okay. And 15.
It's okay.
This way.
It's okay.
Okay. So 12. How about 21?
It's fine.
And 21.
It's fine.
Under here, anything?
It's not comfy.
Not comfy. Okay, because you had hepatitis. Okay, so.
Kelly, do you want to also mention those liver chills, the cold liver sensation?
Hmm?
Oh yeah, I often get a feeling like I've got a bag of frozen peas stuck here.
Ah.
In somewhere if I'm out.
Well, they're moving down to the navel, those frozen peas. All right, so, but you, okay, so you feel, but this, it feels like not comfortable?
No.
Okay, all right. And kidney 13, stomach 28?
I feel there's something. Not,
You're feeling
not,
something?
Not dreadful.
Okay, but something, okay. And 13 and 28. So you have, there's something here.
Yeah.
Okay, and then something here. The big one for you is this one.
Mhm.
Okay, and you have a little icky here.
Mhm.
Okay. Anything here? All right. So, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Stomach line a little bit more. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, so this one, yes. Okay. How about the scalings? So stomach line only on the left side, which is a little bit unusual. Okay. Anything? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. All right. Any pain? Nothing?
Yeah, actually, just when you pinch my toe, then that hurt.
This one.
Mhm.
Okay, so liver on this side. And any pain? Or
No, that's alright.
so let's just start with. Oh, it's okay. Okay, that's okay. You have uncomfortable here, right? When I press on liver 4 on the ankle, how is now?
That's fine.
That's fine? Okay. Now, you have here, when I press on liver 4, how is this guy here?
That's okay.
It's okay?
Mhm.
Okay. So liver 4, liver 8, plus I have to do liver 5, plus, so I have quote unquote some solutions, but I also look at diabetic treatments and I also need to check cardiac, okay? So anything here,
It's a bit tender,
a
yeah.
bit tender. Okay?
Where were you?
Spleen 20, left side. How's now?
I'm still there.
No change. Right? When you say no, it's still there, does it mean no change?
No change, yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's what, okay. Fair enough. I'm basically looking for diabetes options.
What did you just write that in?
Spleen 3. You know, which doesn't have to relate there, but okay. How is now up here?
It's no change.
No change. Okay, fair enough. 1 second. Don't tell me. Don't tell me.
Sorry.
It's okay. Here?
Yeah, that's all.
Okay. So range 4. How's now?
Less.
How much less?
Half.
No?
Same.
Same. Okay. Meaning half.
Yeah.
Okay. And this guy here, right?
Mhm.
When I press on the abdomen, how is that guy?
That's fine.
That's fine. Okay. So I have brand 4 and okay, one more thing. You're here. Oh, sorry. This only does 50%, you said, right?
Mhm.
Okay. Sorry about the leg.
It's okay.
How is now?
Better.
How much better?
75?
75. So you see, it's interesting. Liver 5, so that's why I tell you that endometriosis is going to be a liver 5 no matter what. liver 5 and small intestine 11 have no connection whatsoever.
Liver 5,
Liver 5 and small intestine 11, which is a cardiac reflex, have absolutely no connection. Except for her endometriosis, she inherited a cardiac disposition possibility from the father's side of the family. Okay? She herself has endometriosis. I don't know if there's a connection, maybe father's family still contributed the endometriosis. Who knows? Okay? It does not appear to have come from mother's side. But liver 5, which is her endometriosis, treats cardiac better than cardiac, meaning Ren 4 treats cardiac. So that's an interesting proposition. Okay? I wanted to check. Okay.
That is point on the back. If it's come so much from the family, with like 42, 43 area.
Oh, as genetic stuff?
Yeah, would that make a change on the whole?
Okay, let's see if she has. Okay, excuse me. Okay, so she has 43. Would you bend this leg for me? Thank you so much. How is 43 now? Fine. Okay,
All right, so
so
that's the
lucky. Well, it's not so lucky, unfortunately, because it would have been lucky if liver 5 was not on the liver channel. Because the problem is UB43 represents Jue Yin, so it's part of liver. So I'm not as quick to draw the conclusion, unfortunately. But
Does that also clear the SI11 one when you did the 43?
oh, do you want to know if 43 releases small intestine 11? I can't do it.
Can't do it with the number, yeah.
Can't. Not in this position. I'll have to check it on. Yeah. I thought that's what you wanted to check, but then she said pain on UB43, so it kind of got cut off.
Could
Yeah.
you use it to check spleen 20? 43 to clear spleen 20.
Okay, that's fair. Okay, excuse me. Here pain, right? No. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Here. I'm sorry. You have something here also, right? Okay. The back is going to be way more overwhelming than the front, but all I want to know is if the front changed.
Okay.
Okay? So sorry about overwhelming. How's the front?
It's okay.
Okay, so yes, UB43, I mean, he just suggests instead of small intestine 11, we check it against spleen 20. So yes, it did. So apparently UB43 is a big deal for her because your ancestors kind of like were very generous, a little overly generous. So,
Sorry, how is Star 43 Jue Yin?
okay,
Sorry, not
UB43, I knew what you meant. UB43 is there, inside it is who?
Oh, the Shen.
No.
Inside of it is UB14, and UB14 is the shoe point of the pericardium, but the name, it's the only shoe point that's not called, it's not called pericardium shoe, it's called Jue Yin shoe. Okay, therefore, that, because everybody else relates to the inside, whoever is on the inside kind of tells you what the outside point is related to also. They kind of come together. Therefore, Jue Yin Shu means that UB43 to some extent relates to Jue Yin also. Liver 5 is a Jue Yin point. That's how I... Yeah, sometimes you kind of like go like this, and then, you don't know if you're really correct
But
or
why
not.
did you say unfortunately?
Oh, because the unfortunate thing would be, it would have been incredibly convenient if UB43 did not relate at all to Jue Yin, but relates clearly because it's Huang, and Huang relates to ancestry because it's something that's missing that is still in your body, okay, the character.
Yeah.
Okay. Then if I can say that liver 5 treats ancestry, okay, then, and liver 5 treats endometriosis, then I say, I have concluded that your generous ancestors gave you all this stuff which in you manifests as endometriosis.
Okay.
But unfortunately I can't, because it could be that liver 5 just by virtue of being on the liver channel is treating UB43. I can't totally prove anything. Okay, let's just get
Because
started.
liver 5 has nothing to do with ancestors, huh?
Liver 5 and ancestors should not have anything to do with each other. That is correct. That would be my assumption. So somebody sees the box, they'll let me know. Oh, it's over there, okay.
Yeah, you can now because it's just making it white.
So we do not have confirmation for anything for the diabetes, for doing diabetes sugar treatment, which is not very nice for us. Because it'd be nice to be able to do a little bit more than less, so let's see what we can come up with.
Did we check or dew point on her? Or?
Hold on. Oh. Is there a discomfort here? No. But there is discomfort at around 12. Correct? So. Is it any better?
Yeah.
Lots better? Okay. That's all I wanted, confirmation for my diabetes treatment. That's all I care about. So, now, I can choose to do full-out diabetic treatment, which means spleen 3 plus adrenal plus immune, and then even plus OD. Or I can choose to just stay with spleen 3. So I'm going to leave that decision for later. Okay.
Spleen 3, immune, and what?
Spleen 3, adrenal, and
And OD.
Oh, OD is the last one, yes. Spleen 3, adrenal, immune, and OD. That's the full-blown thing. This guy is, where are we at? It's fine. Okay. So now, liver 4. Oh, I should not have done that because I should have checked the sacrum. That's one more thing that I have not checked for you.
For what reason are you checking the sacrum?
To run away. Is that painful? Is that the area?
Yeah.
Is it painful?
It's not comfy. What are you doing?
Not comfy. Okay. How comfy is it now?
Sacrum's better.
Sacrum's better. You don't
Yeah.
like this one?
No, but that's sore.
Okay, okay. How much, sorry, just for 1 second. How much better is the sacrum?
Much, like, complete.
Okay, fine. And now?
Yeah, they're both good.
Okay, because liver 5 is her endometriosis point, you know, so, okay, now, you did not like...
Sorry, could you just explain the sacrum connection?
To liver 8, I can say it's through ligaments. To liver 5, it's only through the endometriosis. So, hold on one second. You did not like this?
No.
Okay, and I want to needle it because it's metal water.
Yeah.
When I press liver 5, how's the knee?
Fine.
Same. Okay, no?
Diane, she has a sacral pain.
Sorry?
Oh, she has got sacrum
Yeah.
pain.
Yeah, she has right-sided sacrum pain,
Okay,
which I
sorry.
did not check before. It was, you know, okay. So let me see what I can do to eliminate liver 8 pain. Okay, so pain here, right?
Mhm.
So sorry. Actually, that's not a fair trick, but anyway, I'll do it anyway. How's now?
It's like half.
Half, okay. How's now?
No, it's fine. Yeah,
No,
that's
it's fine.
complete.
Okay, I got my confirmation for adrenal, kidney 7. Okay, the reason why kidney 6 was an unfair thing is because this, if liver 8 pain, by dogma we use kidney 6. Okay, so that was not the nicest way to confirm. By the way, watch her, come look at her ankles. No smirking down there.
Oh no,
It's okay. The ankle, do you see, I know you think kidney 2 should be higher, but in her case, do you see how far kidney 2 has fallen? Okay, that's what I mean by return the flow. I don't think they're talking about water, like, you know, like in TCM, they say, oh, it's a good point for, I don't know, water something, return the flow. I think what they're talking about is that this is falling, so now kidney 2 is basically 1 cell above kidney 3 instead of 2 cell, which is, but that's what,
Kidney 2?
sorry, kidney 7.
Okay.
Kidney 7, you see, in her case, I would take kidney 7 here, not the tutsun, because I'm taking kidney 7 at the bottom. Everybody has a certain amount of this. Hers is more extreme and has made kidney 2 fall.
Kidney 7.
Kidney 7, I'm sorry. Don't know why I have 2 on my mind.
You don't need it towards the Achilles tendon or the after channel.
No, 7 is never towards the Achilles tendon.
Okay.
3 can be towards the Achilles tendon if you're using it for thyroid, but if you're using it 3, which I actually call 4, for asthma and stuff, it's down towards the heel.
3 you call 4, but 4 is 4. Oh, no, what
You
is
can
it?
call it 4 and 3 and, are you okay, Geraldine?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. So you can distinguish between kidney 3 or 4, or you can call them kidney 3 either way.
Okay.
But kidney 4 is the one that's on the bone and needle down to the Achilles.
Okay.
And the official kidney 3 is the one we needle towards the Achilles that's used for thyroid, for hypothyroid.
So, Avi, sorry, just to say, did you say that kidney 6 is for liver 8 pain? But you're
Kidney
using,
6 is for liver 8 pain.
but
yes.
you're using here kidney 7.
Well, kidney 7, it only did a 50%.
Kidney
The
6.
kidney 6 is like an orthopedic situation. It is like a, it's a trick. It's, like we use spleen 4 for inner knee eye, gallbladder 41 for outer knee eye, it's those ETO things. We use kidney 6 for liver 8 area. Okay, so since kidney 6 only did 50% and kidney 7 did 100%, I'd rather go with 100%. Are we okay here?
Yeah.
Okay.
What did you test spleen 3 against?
Ren 12.
Thank you.
So can you show me your kidney 6?
There's nothing special about my kidney 6. I know people keep thinking that there should be. It's hard to see on her because the way the ankle is against this. But just go off the bone.
Okay.
Don't go off the bone to where there's still. This is not off the bone. Okay. People say to me, "But there's a kidney 6 here." There's no kidney 6 here at all. It just feels as if you're off the bone but there's still tissue. The bone actually ends here. Okay, and that's, I think, why people have this idea that there's 2 kidney 6s. The bone does not end here. The bone ends here. If I'm looking for a space between the navicular and the malleoli, or whatever these things are called, if I'm looking for space between the bones, it's going to be here. If I come here, I'm on tendons, and there's more tissue here, but I'm still on the bone. The bone hasn't ended until you come to here. Even though there's more tissue, it feels as if you got off the main part of the bone, but you actually not. That's too. That's a little bit. So hold on, let me just say. I would take it here. If you come to here, you're basically on here. So I would go to here. We'll find someone when they're lying down that's not, because the way the foot is, it just hides some of it a little bit better. Okay, so we'll just finish with immune.
And does she have adrenals anyway then, reflex?
No, she didn't have adrenal reflex.
But because
But
kidneys don't help
because
liver.
of diabetes, and because I had some confirmation, remember I told you I'll leave it to the end and see what happens. That I'm not committing to full diabetes treatment until, okay, now, how are we doing here?
It's fine.
It's fine, okay. So even though spleen 3 didn't help it, once I added adrenal, apparently it did. And this is not the big ouchy one, this is the other one. How are we doing here? It's fine. Okay, now let's look for the big ouchy one, gallbladder 43. Okay, so this is, do you see how you've heard me say this many times, somebody who has diabetes, even though in her case it's in the family, it's not even her, so that demonstrates it's even better. You cannot, doesn't matter what they come for, spleen 3 adrenal immune. Because even though spleen 3 did not prove to be the best one, once I finish the treatment, other things disappear. Okay, it's just the nature. Diabetes is a systemic disease. You cannot ignore it. It affects every cell in your body. You just can't, like, say, I'd let it slide. Oh, well, it's the father side of the family, like screw father, who cares about that side of the family? You can't do that. She is bound to have it. I mean, it's so strong. All 3 of them, mother, father, and father, too strong.
Even if it kind of develops in later life when post 60 and people are a little bit
But it's still-
overweight.
Yeah,
and,
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
from
there's a lot of-
perhaps there.
Okay. There's a lot of reasons why it happens, but it still happens. Okay. I have diabetes in my family. I am not overweight, and I'm still susceptible. You know, it's just, and it's like we
Diabetes in later life or diabetes in...
No, type 2, type 2. Type 2 is still diabetes. You know, that it's still, you know, just because there's life, you can prevent it from happening by better lifestyle, and because you can treat it with lifestyle, does not make it a non-existent disease. You know, it's like, so yeah, the more contributing factors you have, the more, you know, but it's still a disease, and it's still an inherited disease. The problem is, what you have now is you have a lot of people who didn't have parents that had it. Okay, but yes, they have a lifestyle that's totally, bakery and donuts, whatever lifestyle. Then you get more people that have it. You know, we do see larger numbers of people having it, whereas, you know, let's say 50 years ago it was less. Okay, so yes, there are lots of people who don't have it in the family, but the ones who do have it in the family have to watch, you know, you have to look at it as a contributing factor to any disease. And I can tell you that for sure, I may not have blood tests that's showing anything necessarily, but for sure, because I eat too much sugar and I feel like crap. Okay, and it doesn't take much to make it too much. You know, so it's kind of like, I know that sugar affects me. I know that carbs affect me. You know, I can just kind of like go, oh, you know, totally sleepy. So, you know, that's why, you know, like when I teach, I try not to eat carbs at lunch, because I will totally like, where am I? Okay, not a very good demonstration of what we should not be doing in clinic, right? So, okay, let's do the Moxone liver 5, because that's, are you good for liver 5?
You didn't needle liver 8 then because it was painful? Or have you needled liver 8?
I did, now I needle liver 8,
Yeah,
now that it's
yeah,
not
okay.
painful. And, you know, so
But
it's,
you did kidney 7 to release the pain in liver 8
yes,
instead of kidney
and
6.
that's what gave me the confirmation for, for full diabetic treatment. Does that make sense? Yeah.
And did you haven't done anything for the cardiac then? You didn't do REM4, you didn't...
I did
Oh,
not do
you're gonna do
REM4,
liver
I
5
would,
because that helped it.
yeah, but also I could do, well, first of all, liver 5 helped it better, but secondly, no, I could still do, I could still do REM4 because, first of all, diabetes is also an autoimmune disorder in many cases. But the other thing is, okay, liver is mother of heart, right? Wood is mother of fire, correct? That's why treating liver and cardiac disorders sometimes is very important.
You haven't tended to use kidney 27 at all paired with, when you've said it's an adrenal, you don't think automatic on that one, or you just...
I do. She has 27.
Oh, just, sorry.
No, she has 27. I tend not to check 27 against anything. I mean, I don't see much, you know, I don't have much success with 27 releasing huge amounts of stuff, so I just kind of stick it in, you know, I don't make a big fuss about it, so you
I missed
didn't
it
get to see it. Yeah, no, so therefore you didn't get to see it. Would someone like to do the other side? You're welcome to. If no one does, that's okay too.
All right.
Hmm?
Well,
Yeah, it feels unusual for you
Yes,
because
it
you're not
does.
used to it, but, and it's okay if you want to do it.
No,
it's fine.
no.
It's, you know. But it looks good. I would say you're making them super small. You don't have to go anywhere near that small. Here.
Left side was really hot.
I'm sorry. My apologies.
not small.
Not small enough. Yes, exactly. Actually, there was not enough attention because I was going to step it out and I didn't.
This is very difficult to do when you've got rough fingers. The skips of the fingers.
Yeah, that's why you have to keep, oh, the roughness.
Yeah.
Oh, that I don't know. I know that if your fingers are too slippery or oily, it sticks to the fingers also. Well, I guess there's no solution. There's no perfect fingers. You okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're just about done on the left side.
Did something clear the thyroid? Or did she
Oh,
have thyroid?
Yeah, no, I believe she had left side. Yes, she did, and I should have checked the kidney 7 against it, sorry. Okay. Maybe here? Okay. So unfortunately, I didn't check kidney 7 against it, I should have, but that would have, given that I'm not finding it now, I'm making the assumption it was kidney 7. For the small ones that you do, you don't have to wait. You wouldn't have to stamp them out, honestly.
If you just check stomach 9, I don't know, let's
So-
check back.
No, it's fine. You make this
No,
hand,
so those
this hand, hold it a little lighter, and the reason why, we'll be with you in 1 second, so that when you're pinching, so you want it a little bit rolled, so it sticks out. So when you're pinching, you don't have to, because if you're holding it here, and it's very hard to parachute it down, whereas if you're holding it at the very tips of the fingers, you see it's still sticking out?
Yeah.
And it's easier for me to parachute it that way. So I'm talking about this hand. When this hand pinches, try and pinch at the very tip, and then you're not going to have this thing about, oh, my hand is too rough, my hand is too this, my hand.
There.
See if you can use those 2 fingers.
Okay.
Yeah. I didn't realize it. Well, there's already one there. Let go. I'll hold
I'll
on.
understand.
Yeah, you go to it. You have to light it down. That's fine. You go. I don't think you have a problem. Keep it at the tips. It's okay. It's okay. Keep it further. Yeah, that was fine. Is that easier?
It's getting that way, it just takes,
Yeah.
getting used to it.
All right.
How many more to do?
Do another 10 if you can. If you can. I mean, it's getting a little bit red, but not quite enough.
Talking about lymph, quite often aware, especially lying down, of a draining from my ears into my throat.
A what?
Draining.
A draining from the ear to the throat. Okay, when you lie down. Huh, interesting.
And quite often I might be laying my throat in the morning.
You didn't feel it right now? You are feeling. Hold on one second.
You're okay, Kelly, not hurting, are you?
You're fine. Yeah, I feel hurting me. That was sore.
Give them a chance to express themselves and they will.
Point taken. Sorry.
You don't ask, you'll let me know if I'm hurting you too much. You say, it's fine, right? No problem. I once saw Miriam Lee, she was needling these points on the back of the Achilles on this old man. He's lying down, face down. He's like huge needles and she's like this. and he's like going, ah! She goes to his chest on the shoulders and goes, you let me do a good job. And doesn't ask for any feedback, doesn't care. Sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. Oh, sorry, I was gonna check that. Wow, we got disrupted with ears? No change? Okay, so let's see what we. I'm assuming that when you lie face down, it doesn't happen because it's the position. So hold on, I'm going to check something. Don't turn over quite yet. No, that was spin 7.
Ah, I missed the...
No problem. Oh, here, she doesn't have a big spin 7, so I didn't really find her. But anyway, okay, so here. If this is the liver 5 would be on the bone, spin 7 would be in that vicinity of the bone. And I'm going to. They're basically at the same level, and so is kidney 9. They're all basically at the base of the gastric venous, give or take.
Wait, this last one.
Hmm?
Sorry, it's being skelly.
Last one is okay. I think we can do the last one. It's okay. Talk about your ears for a second. So here.
Yeah. Sometimes I'm aware of lying down with draining from my ears.
Yeah, no. Okay, now talking about this,
All right.
my side, okay, the left side. Any change?
It's hard to see because it's not there all the time.
Okay, no, that's why I asked if it's happening right now. Is it happening right now or not?
There's a slight sensation.
A slight, okay, let go. I'll give you both ears. Let me see. I'm trying under small intestine 12, the under the scapular spine is lymph drainage, is lymph points, but it's hard to do from this side. But on the other hand, if I wait until I put it this way, there's not going to be draining from the ear backwards. So that's why I'm trying to take this side.
So I was still present.
Oh no, it was for you. It was for you.
Okay.
You asked, it wasn't
Yes,
for
yeah,
you
no,
too.
that's good, that's good. So, liver 5.
Let's turn it over.
Abby, when you asked Geraldine about sugar,
Uh-huh.
are you
Oh, what? Well, neither can I, but they're not there. The needle forgot also.
Are you including fruit in that as well?
No, I would not include fruit in that, and the reason why is because fruit has fiber.
Right.
So unless they're doing, I would include dried figs or, the dried fruit parts I will include in sugar. But if you're eating apples or mango or, no, I don't think it's, of course, I'm sure, I know there are people who do say that it is, but I personally think fruit is just fine. So it's cool. So we have a few things that we can check here, and that is the theory of the diet is not comfortable here, right?
It feels hard.
Feels hard, okay. This one also?
Yeah.
Okay, so T7, diaphragm line, so kind of gives us some confirmation of the possibility of diaphragm. I want to check oh, interesting.
I've had to do that today. Here.
Uh-huh. Yeah, T5 is a little, okay. Anything here?
Sorry, it's too white.
Nothing around T5?
A little bit.
A little bit here?
Yeah.
Okay, a little bit here, and this one, and this one. Okay. And if she has digestive problems, anything around small intestine 11?
Yes.
Yes. And how about this one?
Not really.
So left is not really, but right. Okay, right tends to be more digestive, so small intestine. Okay. Let me, okay. And okay. When I press here, how is more just 11?
It's maybe 30% better.
30, okay.
Where are you, Amy?
T11, T12.
That's better.
Lots better?
Another 20, so half better.
And now?
Again, it's gone really. actually.
Gone really, okay. Okay. How's this one now?
It's better.
Okay. And this one?
There's still a little bit of hardness.
Okay. And now?
It's gone.
And you're testing against T7-ish?
I'm testing against T7, yeah. So, this one's okay now? This one's okay?
Some left.
Some left, okay. And you had something here also.
Yeah.
So still this one and this one still. Okay. How's this one and this one?
The first one's better.
This one's better, this one's not?
Are you going to do it again?
Okay. Okay. You have 1 and 2,
Okay.
T5 and T7. How's 1 T5 and 2 T7?
T5's better, T7's still there.
Okay. How's T5
It's gone.
and T7?
It's gone.
Okay. So do 14. Watto relates to immunity.
And you do the Watto of it rather than doing it on the channel?
Yeah, I generally do Wattos. I don't commonly use the do channel.
You know that the points you once gave us, standard points to help general backache, T11, T12, T5,
Yes,
T7.
yeah.
Again, all Watto.
Oh, mostly I would use the Wattos, yeah. Yeah, and I'm using T7 on her. And it's not just for back pain, it's just in general that, you know, if you're looking for general back treatment, you're gonna go do 2, T11, 12, T7, T5. Because those are the big curves in the spine, which means if you use them, you're affecting the whole spine, which means that you're also affecting the nervous system. Okay?
You're also affecting the limb.
The nervous system.
Nervous system.
Smart test in 19. Sorry.
I was just going to ask, there's quite a curve at the lumbar spine too. It's sort of, you know, so L5, L4, isn't it? Sort of.
I'm not seeing that as pronounced in this position, like the second, but you might be right. It's hard to. It didn't attract me.
I wasn't.
You're
being,
looking at it from the position.
No, I wasn't.
Oh,
being
that there's a
generally-
curve. Yeah, Yeah, okay, gotcha. Yeah, L5 is another big one. But L5 I tend to use not so much for activating the rest of the spine. I use do 2 for that. That I use if there's problems in the legs or gynecological problems. That's when I use L5. But yes, that is another big shift in the spine. But instead of L5, if you're asking how to affect the spine, instead of L5, I'm going to look at sacroiliac ligaments, which affect L5, and therefore affect the rest of the spine.
And so you'd use the sacroiliac points with that other prescription, if you will.
You can,
Right.
if you know, because it depends on what you're using for. Are you using it for the spine, or are you using it to release the nervous system?
A general
If
good
you
back treatment.
if you're looking at it as back treatment, back treatment should pretty much always include sacroiliac ligaments, in my opinion.
I can feel them.
You can feel there? Okay, sorry. Okay, you can feel there, okay. And how's now?
About 40% better.
Okay.
It's better.
So T5. So basically I did T1112, T75, plus small intestine 910, and do 14.
Why did you do 9 and 10? Why did you do 9?
Small intestine 910, blood pressure. I always add, or autonomic nervous system. I always add to open up the back. Small intestine 910. Both sides, yes. She has this side also.
I thought it was only one-sided for the cardiac.
No. Small intestine 910, wait, thanks for reminding me. Small intestine 11 is cardiac on the left side, and on the right side it's digestive. So I'm now going to add the, I knew there was something missing. I was looking at the needles and going, I didn't do something. So
for the purpose of blood pressure, you wouldn't necessarily do the small intestine 910 on the right hand side?
no, for the purpose of blood pressure, I do both sides.
Both sides.
Yeah. Small intestine 11 is the one that relates to cardiac only on the left.
There's a corresponding point to SI 9 and
Yao
10,
Yan.
down
To make it four corners.
Yeah.
Yao Yan, the dimple of the iliac crest.
in this case, would these using the sacroiliac points, would that mean you didn't have to use Yao Yan?
I didn't use sacroiliac points.
No, but if you were, sorry.
Oh, you can use sacroiliacs plus Yao Yan. You can do both. It feels a little odd, aesthetically maybe, but it's not a problem. I have used sacroiliac and four corners, meaning Yao Yan and small intestine 910, all three of them together. I have done that.
And could you help me with the location of Yao Yan?
Yeah, you take the iliac crest, come over, and where you feel there's a dimple, like the bone has a hole in it. It's supposed to be level with L4.
L bottom of L4 on
The bottom of L4, yeah, that's what, but who cares, who knows,
No,
who
I
cares?
prefer that.
It's
Yeah.
like, but yeah, just come and feel where there's a dimple. And then I needle it down and out towards the leg.
May I?
Yes, you may, of course.
Is it okay, Jerry?
Of course, yeah.
Here.
No, higher. You're on the corner. That's too sacral. See, there's still a bone here. So you want to be here.
So,
That's fine.
okay.
Did that make sense?
Yes.
When you find rainfall and Mushu, when you find rainfall and Mushu, you sort of do it, I noticed you do it on like automatic pilot. Are you just looking at about 3/5 and doing it, or are you...
Oh, how do I find Ren 4?
Well, you sort of automatically go to Mushu
No,
every
because
time.
automatically I find Ren 4. It has nothing to do. Okay, so Ren 4, there's no threat zone, there's no bullshit in Ren 4. Ren 4 is where your abdomen starts rising.
Is that what that's it?
Yeah, that's it. Just like Do 4 is where the deepest curve in the back is. Deepest dip, maybe I should say. So I'm just adding moxa to small intestine 11 because it is a digestive issue. And what I did in small intestine 11, I'm surrounding it. I'm not needling one point. I'm kind of surrounding the puffy area in there. You okay? You feel your ankle?
Yep, feel heat.
I feel it. So Tim, when you put the moxa down, think of, I always use the word parachute.
Yes.
People think it's funny. And I actually mean it because what I mean is you don't want to place it. Oops. You don't want to touch your fingers to the skin. You just want to open your fingers and parachute it. So you're letting go of the moxa almost before it touches the skin. And then it's going to be a little easier to do. Does that make sense?
It does. Yours, I mean, it's not surprising, but yours seems to stick on the point much easier than mine.
Well, because I'm not holding on to, because if you're trying to get it to the skin, you're holding on, whereas if you're parachuting it, you're just kind of like releasing it and letting it do its thing. Sometimes they stick to my fingers too. It's not like it's never happened.
No.
It actually happens more often than I like it because it's annoying. But
Like everything is parachute.
yeah, and then you kind of go, okay, one of them didn't behave, but then it's the moxa's fault, not yours. The moxa did not behave. This one fell off. Wrong.
What grade? What's it called?
Of moxa? I don't know what it's called in the UK. I can tell you. The problem is they sell different kinds of moxa as gold. Buy the most expensive. What I do is go to a website called Kobayashi. I can email you. Koba is in Japan, and you can buy it in Japan, and it's the cheapest way to do it, even including the shipping. It's still cheap.
What's that, sorry?
The moxa that I get from Kobayashi, that's this moxa, and it's good grade moxa, and it's like maybe $80 for 100 grams, including the shipping. I don't think the shipping is going to be any more expensive to here than to America. Whereas if I buy it from OMS, it's going to cost me $130 for 100 grams. So I just buy the moxa directly from Kobayashi. Sorry.
You have to pay the duty.
Oh, do you? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, because
sometimes
I don't
when you-
have. Okay, because I don't have.
It's bit.
For America, I don't have it. So.
Dropping beggars are.
Yeah. You don't have to pay duty.
We don't have.
Yeah, I just thought.
Well, customs doesn't get into things until I guess it's more expensive or something.
All
but
right, so they can do
we're
it
all
if they
about free
find it.
trade. I don't know. Maybe it's the NAFTA Japanta business. I have no clue. But they've never charged. They've never cared about it. Yeah, it's not. It doesn't seem to be a big deal. And yeah. How are you doing? You good? This is okay now?
Yep.
Okay, good.
It's a bit of a broad question.
That's okay.
But just for the back, if you were to summarise, because I still feel when I come to the back treatments, they're a little bit
They're a little vague.
scatty, yeah.
They're always going to be a little, not always, but it's not uncommon for back treatments to be vague because they don't have all the reflexes and all the channels to work with. So that's why, I say most patients will end up with due to T11, T12, T7, T5, and maybe a few other things. With the exceptions of the ones that have cardiac, in which case you're actually treating, say, UB27, UB60, and then surrounding small intestine 11 on the left side, or if they have lung issues, in which case you're doing the same thing, resolving UB13 first, and then needling UB13 and doing MOX on it. But for the most part, you're opening the spine on the back, unless there's specific syndromes that you need.
Okay, and so if, say, like the upper back's tight, you're generally going to use the sacral ligaments like you did on her? Or
Well, if
something
the
like that,
upper
where
back
it
is
really-
tight, I may use sacroiliac ligaments, but I didn't use them on her. But I would actually look to open it, probably with small intestine 9-10.
Okay. Because some, people have such tight paraspinals.
Okay, then tight paraspinal. Okay, that's not upper back. Tight paraspinals. I would go for sacroiliac.
Yeah.
If it's hormonal tight paraspinals, I would look for small intestine 13. But as a whole, your vocabulary in the back is just not quite as interesting.
Can you hold it?
I know.
Talking to you.
All right, let's turn you over. Wait, did you have Mushu?
No.
No, she didn't. See, because they're supposed to have Mushu every time, right? All right. Lie down, face down. And knees are somewhere in oh. This here. All right, so there's a good chance that she will have something on L5. Anything? No? Okay,
Of just where you were,
just this one?
yeah.
Okay, so L5 slightly to the right. And anything on UB32?
Yeah, left side.
This one, okay. This one and this one, okay. It's very convenient you have tattoos that they remind me exactly where the point is. All right, and anything on L2?
Little something on the right.
This one,
Mm-hmm.
okay. And we were gonna, how's this guy?
It's fine.
Okay, so this one's gone. There's small intestine 11 apparently. I just want to make sure. Okay, how about the inner border of the scapula? It's good?
Mm-hmm.
All right. All right, so we're talking about this one and this one, correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let me try one other thing. When I press here,
Mm-hmm.
is that painful?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, then I can't do that. Okay. So, all right. So, when I press on the tailbone, how is this one now?
That's fine.
Okay. And how is this one?
Yeah, it's okay.
It's okay?
Mm-hmm.
And has it improved this one?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything here?
Nope.
Small intestine 13 is hormonal, one of the hormonal reflexes. That's why I'm looking. Okay. So, all right. And because the possibility, first of all, T11, T12, because of the sugar issues. Oh, and she had GB43, and now I can check both sides, both left side and right side. No, this one was okay, but let's see if the right. This one originally she had big ouch on UB43, but she doesn't anymore. And anything here?
Nope.
Okay.
Other than counting the vertebra from the top.
I'm
or
not
just-
counting.
Right, how do you find your T11?
Yeah, I know that. I understand. If you want to count for T11, 12. Oh, I thought you asked. Okay, I thought you were looking at me because I was coming from the top.
No,
Okay. Quite honestly, you want to know what I do? I go to L5. I go this way, and this is probably kind of around the area that I'm looking for, and then I start popping, and I'm looking for something that bulges on the sides
Puffiness.
for T11, T12. Puffiness, yeah. So, you see, if anything, I would count from the bottom because it's a lot easier. Because if you start from here, it's like by the time you get anywhere, you've kind of lost your count. So, I would start from L5. I'm going to say I am going to say on her, this is L2. So if this is L5, 4, 3, G, looks like I was right. 1, and this is kind of sort of below 12, in which case I'm low for. Okay. The other thing, you know, perfectly acceptable method is to say T7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Gee, I came to the same place, damn it. It doesn't always work. It really doesn't.
How did you get
So,
T7 bit? How did you get T7?
bottom of the scapula.
Right, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So these are acceptable methods. But the truth is, no, I don't believe anybody can tell where a vertebra is for sure. To be like, yes, without an X-ray. You just don't know, but it's an area. It's not a big deal, you know. So I'm saying T11, T12. Well, that was T12. No, you know, maybe that was T11. Maybe whatever. Whatever.
Well, if there's some reflex, you know, it's easy. I mean, you can go for like.
Well, T11, T12. The thing I'm interested in is the puffiness.
Right. Okay.
You know, it's very clear to me that I would. I'm well, if it isn't there. And it's there for like 95% of the people, but if it isn't there, the chances of me needling T11, T12 are kind of minimal.
Right.
I'm looking for that extra gummy stuff that's going to be on T11, T12.
So you needle into the gummy?
In T11, T12, yes. Your T5, for example, can have gummy, but T5, for example, can be bony. You know, I mean, both are both can be typical.
Yeah.
So. When is your period due, Kelly?
Another 25 days.
Okay, so you're just done.
Yeah.
You're just done menstruating, or you're still.
I've been done about 10 days.
Hmm?
I've been done about 10 days.
Oh, so your periods tend to be 35 days?
Yeah.
Ah, small detail. And that's always been the case for you? Because they're clearly regular, because you said 25 days, like it was very, it's always 35 on the clock.
Use, it is pretty much, but I also use tracking apps, so.
Okay, and question, when does ovulation happen for you? Because you said you have pain on ovulation.
I ovulated at the beginning of the week.
No way. Sorry, your period ended 10 days ago. So
if you give me my phone, I can tell you exactly when these things happen. I'll be able to tell you exactly to the calendar date what happened when.
Okay, that'll be great. Later, I was just asking because I wanted to be able to assess the treatment. It was not a big deal. No, it's just because if your period ended 10 days ago, your ovulation couldn't have happened 3 days later. 3 or 4 days later.
Okay, all I know is that I was horny and in pain.
Well,
fatal combination.
That could come from other causes besides ovulation. As far as I know, I'm really not the best expert on this subject. When I ovulate, I guess I'm ovulating all the time because I'm craving sugar.
Not horny and in pain.
But not horny and in pain. As a very close friend of mine said, at our age, the horniness is not quite as pronounced, thank God. You're not going everywhere and thinking only about sex. There are some advantages of getting older. And I'm just adding to 16, that's it. Yeah. So,
why will you be adding 216?
Because I'm opening the spine, it's just, kind of an extra. It was not like a huge deal. It was like, that's why I said I'm just adding. I wasn't making a big deal out of it.
So you've got T11, you've got
T11, T7, T5 do 2, which is like your standard back treatment, so to speak, and certainly your standard for hypothyroidism. I mean, in fact, that treatment came from a hypothyroidism treatment, which Kiiko now says, instead of T75, she says T94. But this is your standard hypothyroid treatment. In hypothyroid, if you look at it as TCM terms, you would call it yang deficiency, right?
Yeah.
So to activate the DO, to activate the yang, I'm activating the DO. So these are areas that activate the DO. That's kind of similar to the idea of like the places of the strongest curve activate the spine, therefore treat the spine, therefore treat the nervous system. Okay. But if you really want to know about the DO 16 relates to, okay, it's continuation of opening the spine, but also specifically in her case, also because there's depression, or there was depression. So I'm doing that as well.
So for hyper, you wouldn't do that?
Hyper, I would not do this.
Right.
That would not be the best choice for hyper. No. Now, I may do I may end up with part of it in hyper, but I would watch out that if I'm overdoing it, that's not. For hyper, but, sorry, Geraldine, we have to add, sorry. I have to add for you, I didn't do UB52.
He said she does T.
Because continuation of red line pulse has to be UB52. Because strengthen the adrenals, strengthen the strengthen the lower dantian. So UB52 can be continuation of adrenal treatment in a sense. So you see what I do for L2? Done. I'm not arguing with how many vertebrae or anything like that. I'm just going for. In her case, it's not so clear.
No. But you just render until you find.
Yeah. I'm actually looking.
Looking for a dip.
And the thing is, her dip, touch here, that's a vertebrae. That's not below the vertebrae is actually here. But I'm still taking the dip, the strongest dip.
When you saw your location of L5, you said straight away.
L5, I just go down.
Okay. Rather than you not hitting S1 on the sacrum.
Well,
because the vertebrae.
The sacrum's going to stop you from hitting.
Yeah.
There are, just trying to think about it. There are people whose spine falls further down in front of the sacrum. But for anybody to have the sacrum in front of the vertebrae, meaning I would come down and I would not hit the sacrum, that person's not walking. No, because if your sacrum is in front of the spine, meaning the spine is back of the sacrum, they can't possibly, they're weird beyond belief.
You're saying, because you hit the sacrum and
I'm hitting the sacrum,
S5 is just,
then I'm just below L5.
Yeah,
I'm just below L5. The moment I hit the sacrum,
yeah, L5
it's a mathematical formula, right? It's just like one,
No, that's
5
fine.
goes into 1.
No, that's fine. Just understand.
All right. Any questions?
Sorry, you were talking about a hyper.
Hyper. If hyper, I start doing the back and I'm starting to see that I ended up like this, I'm overstimulating the spine. In hyper, I will try and avoid stimulating the spine. So if I have to do T11, T12, fine. Then I'm not going to do T7. If I want to do autonomic nervous system on someone with hyper, I would choose asthma shoe, autonomic nervous system shoe. Asthma shoe or autonomic nervous system, UB17.
Right,
Okay. I'll choose things away from the spine rather than on the spine for hyper. So interestingly enough, I always tell people, I always say this thing, because it just occurred to me, kind of an interesting phenomenon. I always tell people, in slow pulse we don't stimulate the lower abdomen. And I totally understand why, because if you stimulate the lower abdomen, you're making the pulse slower. You do not want to cause slower pulse for a slow pulse person. But Nagano said do not stimulate the spine for rapid pulse. Okay? And we constantly do it anyway. We're constantly contradicting it. And I once asked Kiiko, why did Nagano say that? And of course the answer was, I really don't know. However, it's possible that he had a case when he was younger. Sometimes you have a case when you're in your formative years that something goes totally berserk, totally wrong. And he just associated, that person had rapid pulse, I did spine points, and he just made himself a rule and just never questioned it possibly. But I just realized that if I'm saying that that there is a rationale, in hyperthyroid I don't want to stimulate the spine. I am using that rule, I'm just not using that rule with rapid pulse. Okay, and I have a rationale for it. So if the pulse is rapid, and you can justify that rapid pulse means heat too much yang, you don't want to stimulate the du, the yang, the C of yang. Okay, so it's kind of interesting because they keep saying, oh, that rule kind of doesn't, we keep contradicting it, that really doesn't apply, but there is some rationale to it. Okay? But definitely for hyperthyroidism, I'm watching out to not suddenly see myself in this pattern of all plateau or dew points. And what I want to do on the back is pull away, do the bladder lines. So for example, say they're Hashimoto's hyperthyroid. Okay, because you can get from hypothyroid to hypothyroid, but they're at the stage of the hyper still. I want to do I want to do kidney and lung, UB27, right? Standard autoimmune treatment. Okay, UB27 plus kidney line plus lung line. That's okay. I do UB42. UB42 I needle towards the scapula. UB52 I needle towards the spine. UB27 basically is sacroiliac. Okay, I haven't really touched the spine. I'm totally fine. Okay, so it's not like I can't treat the back because I don't want to do too much on the spine. I can totally do stuff on the back. I'm trying to pull away from the back, from the spine, and it's not like I can't do 1 or 2 points on the spine. But if I'm starting to do all the major spine points and activating the whole spine, then that may not be what I want to do. That's all.
What about do-2? Would you use do-2 or not?
Yeah, I could use do-2, even though it activates the spine. I mean, but if it's as 1 point, as opposed to the point plus all the rest of the activation, that isn't what I want to do. Hold on a second.
Just with Kelly, she had a number of potential presentations with, like cardiac and diabetes and stuff.
Right.
What would you say stood out for you? Which two?
I can't say what stood out diagnostically because what I can say that what stood out. Well, for what? Wait. I was kind of analyzing her as you were. No. It was like it was if you were talking about Geraldine, and I was thinking, well, there was the hyperdiaphragmatic lymph, and then I'm like, wait a second, we're talking about the totally different way. There was diabetes and cardiac, okay, but ultimately there's endometriosis. So the two that I feel are the strongest here are the diabetic and the cardiac, and the diabetic and the endo. Okay, those are the two. The possibility of thyroid, the possibility of cardiac are still there, but right now, the problem is the diabetes kind of includes the thyroid in a sense, in terms of treatment. Because diabetes includes adrenal treats thyroid. So I don't have, what you could say about someone like her is that ultimately it's going to come to a hypothalamus pituitary axis. Whether it's hypothalamus pituitary adrenal, HPA, or is it hypothalamus pituitary thyroid, HPT, is unclear. I don't believe the pituitary is involved in diabetes. It's my belief, I could be wrong. So you could say that, basically this is a hormonal, that there's a hormonal situation gone kind of off. Okay. Now, had she come to and told us that she has a 35-day period, we would have said that anyway, regardless of the medical history. So you can arrive at it from many aspects. But in terms of what I think is important to treat, I think the diabetes is important to treat. I think the liver 4, liver 8 is important to treat. How do I know? Because when I pressed liver 4, it resolved REN 12. So the fact that may not be the hepatitis from H10, right? Hepatitis? Okay. It could be hepatitis A from H10 from that place in London that didn't wash their hands. Okay? But it could also be like a major issue for her because ultimately all your hormones are being broken down by the liver. So is it because she has a weakness in the liver because of the hepatitis, or does she have a weak liver in some sort of, that's just her constitution without the hepatitis, and actually she ate that sandwich, and her friend ate the exact same, maybe they shared the sandwich, she got hep A and the friend didn't. How do I know? It's like, but I think that there is a liver issue going on, which requires liver 5, but on the right side requires liver 4, liver 8, because I tested it. And then I think the diabetes treatment is important. So the diabetes and the endometriosis, and basically it seemed like with those I have covered the thyroid and the cardiac in terms of the small intestine level no longer shows. So I would not place stronger importance on either the cardiac and certainly not on the thyroid. Fair? Anyone else?
Yes, but did you end up doing 7 and 9? And did you say that Kiiko that's 5 and...
No, I do 7 and 5. Kiiko says T9 and T4. I still say 7 and 5. It's a fashion statement sort of thing. It used to be 7 and 5, and it became T9 and 4. Okay, but what's the difference between 4 and 5? Please.
No, but
What?
it's okay.
What? You're brilliant. I tell you, so good. One vertebrae you can't really, and 7 and 9, even though you would say between 7 and 9 there's actually 2, there's really only 1, because T7 and T8 are T8 is like a teeny vertebrae for most people. So we're basically landing in the same general vicinity, is basically the
But
point.
you did T7, T5.
On her, my thinking was T7 and T5. If you went and counted, you may find that I did something different. But what I called them T7 and T5. Thanks, Kelly. Let's have you sit up and see how you feel.
Did you say Hashimoto's?
Sorry?
Did you say that Hashimoto's can start as hyperthyroid?
Yes, it usually does, I believe.
It's associated with hypo.
Because it turns into hypo pretty fast. And that's my belief is that, how are you feeling? Good? All right, well, we'll see what happens. Let Nick know. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Sorry.
This is the first one.
Yeah.
All right, let's have you sit up. You're most welcome. How are you feeling? You okay? Yeah? All right. How are the ears?
Yeah, it stopped.
Yeah, well, we were in the other position. Okay. All right. Shall we do lunch? Anybody know what the time is?